morning it's 134 days after telling Mikel Arteta and Arsenal to stay humble that those comments came back to bite Erling Haaland and Manchester City.
What do we say about Arsenal? If you create a chance, you have to be ruthless to take it.
Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. The goal in the 3rd minute, a defensive calamity from Manchester City.
The goal always is difficult, but we react really well.
And it's Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1. Yet another milestone for Erling Haaland.
You know full well that Arsenal one of the best pressing teams here at the Emirates when they set off the high press.
Partey has made it 2-1 to Arsenal. Miles Lewis-Skelly has made it Arsenal 3, Manchester City 1. And what a moment for the young man, scoring his first goal here.
Very difficult at that age to do what they are doing. They want to take risks, they take the initiative, they play to make things happen, and they happen.
Arsenal 4, Manchester City 1. This has an end of days feel about Pep Guardiola's team. The wheels come off in spectacular fashion.
You are watching the end of a dynasty. This is the end of a dynasty before our very eyes.
Arsenal 5, Manchester City 1. Ethan Nwaneri with another tremendous goal. What will Real Madrid do to this slot?
All the game I had the feeling that we were playing good. So with the game, I don't know what happened this season, you never know, but the game was there.
And you know what? They've made some terrific memories over the last 9 years under Pep Guardiola, but Manchester City will remember this trip to North London forever.
Yeah, it was a bad day to say the least as far as City are concerned. Arsenal still 6 points behind Liverpool, who also have a game in hand. City 15 points adrift to the league leaders. I mean, they're embroiled in that battle for Champions League places and by no means guaranteed to claim one.
No.
And you heard a word or two from Pep there. Let's hear a bit more from him. Pep says that he was, I quote, happy with his side's performance.
But it's not a start like the Chelsea game. In the beginning, it's not easy, but we react really well. We give away another chance that Havertz missed. But after that, we played the game, I think, in a high level and in the level that we can be. And after the momentum shift in 2-3 minutes, the 1-1 to 2-1, and you can lose 2, 3, 4, but the last 20 minutes, what we have done during 60-65, we have not done it. And that's why what has happened, we don't have defense. So we have a plan, and we didn't do it because they have pride, because they want to solve it, but that's not the way. Always you have to be in that level, you have to be, serious and stick what we talk. Unfortunately, it happened, and hopefully we can learn the lesson for the future.
Well, Pep says he's happy because that's what he does, isn't it, Coisty?
Yeah.
He never comes out and lambasts his team. But it's a long time. Well, in fact, I can't remember when I last saw a City side defend as badly as that. It was unimaginable.
Well, I'll be honest, Jeff. I saw them defend like it in Lisbon against, remember, Ruben Amorim's last game. In the Champions League, where effectively they were absolutely all over the place, and that was a similar story yesterday. But the only thing is, I'll be honest with you, mate, I'm not shocked, Jeff, at that performance. I think it's it's always been there because they've never really got out the woods. I know they did 6-0 against Ipswich where they looked the part, but I've never felt they've really got back on the road fully. Even Chelsea, which was a good victory, thought, Chelsea disappointing second half against them. It's just that they look an aging team that's running out of legs to me, and obviously the defensively they've just kind of lost the plot effectively, Jeff. But it looks a tired team to me.
Yeah. I mean, you do wonder, don't you, at this stage, whether Pep is regretting his decision actually to stay on. Now, as always, the final word was taking all your calls after the weekend's action, and Leon, the City fan, was raging with what he'd seen.
To start with, I don't think that was a bad performance. I think that was the most embarrassing performance under Pep, without a shadow of a doubt.
That bad?
I don't think. Yeah, there was no desire by any single player to even run with the ball. I think we were 3-1 down and Savinho was walking the ball along the touchline.
Yeah.
You're an attacking winger. You shouldn't be anywhere near there. Get up the wing. Every time we get the ball, we're passing backwards. There's no desire at all. It's just embarrassing. And with a performance like that, we would make Southampton look like champions.
Now, it wouldn't be a Monday morning after a big Arsenal win without a certain celebrity Gunners fan voicing his opinion. And this Monday is no different. Here's what Piers Morgan has sent in.
This is Piers Morgan for talkSPORT. Just got back from the Emirates Stadium after watching Arsenal demolish Manchester City 5-1. The last time he played City, Erling Haaland had a lot to say for himself at the end of the game. He went up to our manager, Mikel Arteta, and told him to stay humble. He also said to our young rising star, Miles Lewis-Skelly, that he didn't know who the F he was. Well, two things I'd like to say after today's game, Erling. One is, I think you know who Mr. Lewis-Skelly is now. And secondly, stay humble. The way you lot are playing, we're going to have a lot to be humble about.
The most humble man on the planet, Piers Morgan, having his
the
having
man
his
that put
say.
the H in humble.
Absolutely. But the odd thing was, Coisty, is that when Erling Haaland scored the equalising goal, I thought there's only one side going to go on and win this, because actually, until then, City, after the first few minutes, had been the better side, in my opinion, anyway.
I don't think it was anything in it, Jeff. I really didn't. And I thought the ascendancy had gone with City. I agree with you, mate. And you kind of half expected them to kick on. But they're just a completely different side. They are a completely different City side to the one we're accustomed to. They just look... I mean, I can't believe we're actually saying it looks like a City team that is completely short in confidence and lacks belief. But that's the way they are. And I think probably the most important thing, I'll say it again, particularly in the middle of the park, I think they lack legs. I really do, mate.
Yeah, no question about it. And the goalkeeper doesn't give anybody any confidence either, does he?
But the headlines this morning in all of the back pages, mostly about Arsenal. Some good ones to do with humble being mentioned, the old humble derby. The Sun saying humble pie, Mikel warning for Gunners as they run riot and taunt Haaland. And the picture being used is that cracker of the boy who's brave, Miles Lewis-Skelly, to sit down and do the Haaland celebration was quite something else. Humbling of champions is the pages of the Telegraph today, and the Daily Mail is going for special ones. Arsenal thump City as Arteta's young Gunners come of age. Something about watching that. Do you think, Jeff, that when there's a bit of housery in football and Haaland tells Mikel Arteta to stay humble, and the press pick it up, the media pick it up, and it goes everywhere, it brings out the best of that team in the other fixture? I mean, did it make Arsenal better?
I don't think it made Arsenal better, because I thought when City equalised, I thought they were the better side. And at that stage, because David Raya made two sensational saves.
He was good.
Two sensational saves. And Arsenal stopped playing, and it's all, we look at the scoreline now, correctly, 5-1, it's a walloping. It didn't look like it was going to be that way. They only started playing again. I think Gary Neville said they only started playing again once City got back to 1-1. Arsenal realised we have to do something about this because the title's disappearing in our own backyard.
Back page of the Times, Ali, it's saying afterwards the Arsenal manager said there's nothing that I want to discuss about that. This is in regards to Lewis-Skelly's celebration. The players know my view on it. As a manager, Ali, would you be almost encouraging the players not to get involved in anything like that and stay humble?
Yeah, probably. He'll be absolutely delighted with the result. Obviously, no doubt about that, Shebahn. But it's one of these ones Mikel Arteta could probably do without it. Do you know what I mean? Because rather than get asked about his team performance and how good they were and what a day it was for Arsenal, the first question he'll get asked at the press conference is about that particular incident.
The antics.
Yes, you know what I mean? And it probably doesn't need it. Don't get me wrong. He'd rather be in a position where his team's played that well and there is a bit of housery than not, but he'd rather be talking about the level of performance from his team and the performance.
Yeah. You want your young players to have some personality, though, don't you?
Yes.
Exactly.
And he showed that confidence and personality.
Correct.
I didn't like earlier on in the game. I didn't really like it when it was Gabriel ran past Haaland and snarled in his face. I didn't care for that. But I didn't think there was anything wrong with the celebration. And by the way, what a player he looks like he's going to be.
Doesn't he just?
Did I tell you last week, Lou Skelly's mum listens to talkSPORT every day?
Does she?
She does.
It's a good job I said that then, isn't it?
By the way, looking at Manchester United and Rashford in the papers today as well. Inside the Telegraph, Jason Bart's piece on Manchester United and the loss at Old Trafford against Crystal Palace. Great pictures of Jean-Philippe Mateta almost doing some sort of Irish jump 2-3 dance there in the air, celebrating 2 of his goals at the weekend. But Jason Bart writing about Rashford. Rashford deal can be good for him, Villa and Manchester United. It's said that more than 30 clubs from around Europe inquired about taking the England international on loan during this transfer window. But Villa, in the end, have signed him. An attacking axis of Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins and Rashford is one brimming with pace and potential, and it will not be lost on that Rashford might also earn his place back into the England squad. We know that Unai Emery is a bit of a manager who prides himself in bringing players back to their best. Do you think Marcus Rashford can get back in England?
One step at a time.
The first thing is, getting the Villa side.
Too much too soon. Too much too soon. Got you.
Yeah. I just think it's great. I agree with what was said there, Shebahn. I think it's important for him to get back playing. It could be good for him. It could be good for Villa, and it could be good for United. But he's just got to get back playing at a level where he looks happy and he's contributing to Villa. And then you would assess the situation. I would safely predict and confidently predict at this moment in time, he won't even be thinking about that. He'll just be thinking about getting back playing and enjoying his football again. That's all he's got to do.
It's interesting when the way the question's framed there, and Jason Burt said it could be good for United. In what respect can it be good for United when they are playing Kobbie Mainoo as a false 9?
Yeah, I know.
And Marcus Rashford, who scored 87 Premier League goals for them, is on his way out of the door.
Absolutely. That's the only way it can be good for United, that they get a fee for him. I think that's perhaps what he means, Jeff. But you're right.
Yeah, I wish him well. Time will tell. Villa are stretched at the moment. They need somebody in through the door. They're going to get Marcos Asensio as well, aren't they, during the course of the day today? So we'll see about these Unai Emery powers of rekindling fading players' careers, and let's hope from Marcus Rashford's point of view that is the case, and that is what happens.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.